You'll forgive me if I seem upset. I've suffered a loss recently, but that's not your problem. It's a relief to see some proper warriors come through here. My name is Atma. I run the tavern here in Lutga Lane. I don't expect this of you, but if you want to help me, I would be grateful. In the sewers below our city, there lurks a horrid creature that hungers for human flesh. The creature has killed many, including my son and my husband. If you destroy it, I will reward you. Please, be careful, though. That beast has taken enough from us already. The sewer entrance is through the trapdoor, just up the street.
Farah and I have been talking about the creature recently. From my studies, I have deduced that it is Radamant the Fallen, an ancient Horadric mummy that has for some reason left his tomb to prey on mortals. I'm doing some more research now. If you check back later, I may have some more insight as to his nature.
I've personally found some of that devil's victims washed up out of the sewer. Often they are missing limbs or a head, and their bodies have always been skinned. At first, the creature raided the town at night. That's how Atma lost her family. Now we've got him barricaded in the sewers. You're safe up here on the surface, but every now and again some fool wants to be a hero and heads down to the waste tunnels with a pig sticker.
I hear that the creature kills his victims in order to hack off their limbs. I guess that makes me a less likely candidate, eh?
I've heard tales of walking corpses out in the desert at night, though I've never actually seen one.
I hear that beast is after body parts. Does he eat them? Ugh, ghastly.
I believe that the creature you refer to is one of the ancient Horadric mummies from the tombs that lie buried beneath the desert sands. It is unusual for one of his kind to be so far away from his resting place. I sense in this entity a restless and malevolent spirit.
The Horadrim used to mummify their highest mages and infuse them with spells that would allow them to protect their tombs, even after death. I have no idea why one of them would be acting so malevolently. Perhaps Drognan or Farah would know more about this.
There are 2 entrances to the sewers, I believe. One of them is right near here, down by the water beneath the docks. I can see it from my ship, and you can bet I keep an eye on it every night.
Hey, don't touch my drink, or I'll bore a hole into your skull with my thumb.
The creature makes its lair in the tunnels beneath the city. He butchered my husband and son. I simply cannot bear to talk about it.
I sense strange magic here.
The foul stench of evil assails me. I sense a powerful undead being within this place.
Face the light, or lurk in darkness.
Oh, the telltale stench of a carnivore's lair.
Why must evil hide in such wretched places? Ugh, this place disgusts me.
I am starting to have second thoughts about my request. I couldn't bear the thought of you losing your life on my behalf. Please, be careful.
Aha! Back for a small shot of courage? Believe me, it doesn't help for long. Drinks, barkeep!
I've just been reading something interesting about this sort of undead. Apparently, certain Horadric funereal priests altered the bodies of their dead mages with magical and surgical techniques, often replacing body parts with those of animals. This was thought to augment their powers and raise their status in the afterlife.
We've been meaning to send an organized group down there to kill that thing, but it would be dangerous. We just can't afford the chance of losing any men with all the trouble that's going on in the desert.
If you're going to fight that thing, use some common sense. Be knowledgeable about what harms the undead. Poison, for instance, will have little effect.
Death is not afraid of the living, But the living abhor death.
Huh? Peppermint? Oh, Radamant. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, a foul creature. Some of my exploding potions should do quite nicely against him. They usually work well against the undead.
Drognan told me something interesting earlier today. It might explain why Radamant is so restless, and it might have something to do with why he is stealing human body parts.
The Horadric mummies were created to protect the tombs, but Radamant is far from his burial chamber. Given the aberrations that have been witnessed lately, it comes as no surprise that even the ancient Guardian's spells have begun to unravel. Be wary of this as you venture farther into the desert.
I noticed a rotting human arm floating in the harbor this morning. I suspected foul play, so I told Grays. He didn't seem too concerned since there haven't been any folk reported missing lately.
What a misguided monster.
I pray that Atma will rest easy now.
What a waste of undead flesh.
Rudiment, return to dust.
I've just about had my fill of the Walking Dead.
Vengeance for Atma.
Atma has been avenged.
Atma's been telling everyone what you've done for her.
They say that the taste of vengeance is bittersweet. but I find it to my liking. In addition to my undying gratitude, I have spoken on your behalf with the rest of the townspeople. The merchants have agreed to show their gratitude by offering their wares and services at lower rates. Oh, Jaren wants to see you too. You'll find him in front of the palace.
Whoa, whoa. Radamant the Fallen, is it? I've fallen off many a bar stool, and no one calls me Geglash the Fallen. They might go so far as to say, Geglash, you've fallen.
Little of what I am able to hear is of any value. Radamant's death, however, is news worth hearing. I'm sure Atma will be glad to hear of this.
As you have helped Atma and all of us, so shall I help you.
If you haven't already, tell Atma that Radamant is dead. It may help to ease the weight of her mourning.
From what you tell me, it would seem that Radamant was bent on the task of reviving his own mummified corpse with the flesh of the living. This is very unusual indeed. It takes an incredible magic power to alter the singular purpose of an undead mind. Perhaps there is a power at work here, which is beyond my ken.
You've killed Radamant, eh? That's quite a nice piece of work. If you ever need a job as a mercenary, I'd be happy to sign you up.
We ran into one of those old tomb guardians when I ran with my bandits. I know they aren't easy foes to face, so you sure have my respect. Have you told Atma yet?
Good job, mate. At night out on my ship, I was often awakened by that fiend's awful moaning. I'll bet I rest easier now.
Hello. Ah, the lost Horodric scroll. What a fortunate turn of events. As the last living Horodrim, I alone have knowledge of its meaning. Now, to read the Horodric runes it bears. The Horodric mages, after binding Bale within Tal Rasha, magically sealed off his burial chamber from the mortal realm. Those same mages also crafted fearsome Horodric staves, and imbued them with the special power to open the chamber's hidden door. After nearly losing one to the thievery of a rogue sorcerer, they divided all the Horodric staves into two parts, wooden shaft and metal headpiece, hiding them separately to safeguard them. The Horodrim foresaw our current plight and designed the hiding places to reveal themselves to worthy heroes like you. Collect both parts of a Horodric staff and unite them using a Horodric cube. Then you may enter Tal Rasha's burial chamber. Greeting. You have quite a treasure there in that Horodric cube. According to Horodric lore, the cube can restore a Horodric staff. To do it, use the cube as you would a scroll. When the cube opens, place both pieces of the staff into it and use the cube's transmute power. You'll be pleased to know that the cube has other alchemical uses as well. 6 gems plus 1 sword transmute into a socketed longsword. You may also transmute 2 quivers of crossbow bolts into 1 quiver of arrows, while 2 quivers of arrows yield 1 quiver of bolts. I must leave it to you to discover other formulae.
What a strange outcropping.
Just a large mound. There is nothing to fear here. I sense strange energies emanating from this mound.
What is that?
What is that strange mound? I'm glad to win something for my troubles.
Light willing, this treasure will help put an end to this stifling evil. Nothing but treasure. Well, it'll do.
Ah, this stuff will come in handy.
These sand maggots sure have good taste and equipment.
The Staff of Kings! You astound me, my friend. You have discovered the shaft portion of a Horadric staff. I trust you know how to use a Horadric cube to unite the shaft with its headpiece.
Who would have thought that such primitive beings could cause so much trouble?
The light can never be extinguished by evil. What a pity. I was beginning to enjoy the darkness.
Ah, yes. The sun warms the world once more.
It is good to know that the sun shines once again.
Serpents. I expected worse.
Let there be light.
The Viper amulet you bear is actually the headpiece of a Horadric staff. Yes, you have an uncanny knack for finding rare and valuable artifacts. Of course, you'll have to use a Horadric cube to combine the headpiece with the shaft. Excellent. You have a Horadric staff. Carry it with you into Talrash's tomb. Find within the tomb the chamber whose floor is inset with the circle of 7 symbols. place the staff into the receptacle you find there. That will open the secret passage into Tal Rasha's burial chamber. But be prepared for a fight. You'll likely have to kill Tal Rasha to destroy Baal.
Only powerful magic can conjure an eclipse.
What evil taints the light of the sun? Only the darkest magics can turn the sun black.
Strange. An unexpected eclipse.
What is wrong with the sun?
An eclipse. Never a good omen.
Great. An eclipse. This just keeps getting better and better.
This midday darkness reeks of foul magic. My men and I are trying to keep the peace, but this kind of thing really scares people.
This whole place is one big ale fog.
I've been researching this lengthy eclipse, and I believe it to be the work of claw vipers. Find their temple beneath the desert sands, and you may find the source of this curse.
Drognan may have some advice on this matter. I think I'll speak with him myself.
Drognan the wizard will have some idea as to what is happening.
This unnatural nightfall is no doubt caused by evil sorcery. Drognan might know what we are dealing with.
Claw vipers. This outer darkness mirrors the inner blackness of their souls. It is they who have eclipsed the sun, I'll wager. They are a venomous band.
2 men arrived late last night bearing a story about evil magic. They said they saw a gathering of giant snake creatures performing some arcane ritual. They sound like the serpent men of the desert.
My astrologers failed to predict this eclipse. You should seek Drognan's advice.
The sun has grown disgusted with the terrible deeds it must shine upon each day. Damnation is upon us all.
This permanent darkness is very unsettling. It would make navigation by stars easier for me, though.
I sense strong magic within this place.
Light guide my way in this accursed place. This place is as dark as a tomb.
Oh no, snakes. I hate snakes.
The sun has never shone here.
Dark magic in a darker tomb. I hope I know what I'm doing.
I've had about enough of this darkness. I don't even know what day it is anymore.
I was going to go to bed, but then I realized that I have no idea what time it is. It could be the crack of dawn for all I know.
I've discovered a reference to a similar eclipse several hundred years ago. It says that some desert-dwelling snake demons had erected an evil altar which caused the sun to go black. Perhaps we're dealing with something similar here. Look for an altar in the Claw Viper Temple.
Don't worry. My men and I have an iron grip on this town. If those cursed claw vipers are plotting anything against us, we'll be prepared for them.
I usually charge for rooms by the night, but I may have to soon change that.
This eclipse is a definite manifestation of evil.
The calculated coldness of the reptilian brain makes the claw vipers uncanny adversaries.
I don't know much about the habits of claw vipers, to be honest. Drognan will probably know something about the nature of the magic at work.
The source of this spell is probably a magical altar. It will not be enough to kill the claw vipers. To reverse the spell, you must destroy the altar.
The claw vipers practice evil magic. They have also been known to kidnap travelers and sacrifice them to their dark gods.
It's strange when the morning after the night before is still the same night.
Who would have thought that such primitive beings could cause so much trouble?
The light can never be extinguished by evil. What a pity. I was beginning to enjoy the darkness.
Ah, yes. The sun warms the world once more.
It is good to know that the sun shines once again.
Serpents. I expected worse. Let there be light.
I've been speaking with Lord Jeren, and I sense that he is becoming more and more agitated by something. You should try to talk to him again. If he still won't take you into his confidence, seek to prove yourself a bit more. I gather that his respect for you is growing.
Oh, claw vipers are fond of magical artifacts. Did you happen to find one in their temple?
Drognan seems to have taken you into his confidence. This is good, for you will benefit from his wisdom.
So this is daylight. It's overrated.
You have done well to restore light to our world.
You did well in destroying the claw vipers. We are all glad to see the sun return to its former glory.
I'm glad that's over with.
Ah, it takes but one eye to revel in the beauty of our restored sun.
The sun again shines on Lutko Lane. I'm beginning to like you, traveler.
With renewed daylight, one may gather the wits that were scattered about like restrictive undergarments in the darkness.
So, did you plunder any booty?
I've been researching the old records, trying to find the location of Tal Rasha's tomb. Though I haven't found the tomb itself, I may have a good lead for you. The great Vigerai summoner, Horizon, built his arcane sanctuary somewhere around here. He was a powerful spellcaster and kept demons as slaves within the sanctuary. He kept a close eye on great events too, such as the imprisonment of Baal within Tal Rasha's tomb. If you could find Horizon's sanctuary, I'm sure that it would hold some clue as to the tomb's location. Though I doubt Horizon is still alive, you must proceed with caution. There's no telling what could be waiting inside. When I spoke of this with Lord Jaren, he asked that I send you to him. Perhaps he knows of a secret entrance or the like.
Look, I'm just about as tough and arrogant as they come. But you never catch me trying to tame a demon for a pet. That's just asking for a lot of trouble.
Arcane Sanctuary? That place sounds awful. Even if you find a way into it, what makes you think you'll be able to leave again?
Nearly 1,000 years ago, Horizon rose to the fore of the Vigerai mage clan. Horizon used the knowledge of the Vigerai to summon and control demons from hell. Though a powerful summoner, Horizon feared that the lords of hell would punish him for enslaving their brethren. Thus, the summoner created for himself an arcane sanctuary. He believed that his sanctuary would not only protect him from hell's vengeance, but also allow him to continue his studies free from the ravages of time and disease. Horizon had crafted many wondrous scrying devices through which he observed the events of the world outside. It is certain that he took careful study of Tal Rasha's imprisonment and recorded the location of his forgotten tomb. The arcane sanctuary was believed to have been constructed here, in Lutgolain. An entrance may be hidden somewhere in the palace, as that building is very old and was once a Vigerai fortress.
The only thing in Jarrett's cellar are the harem girls that have been hiding there since the troubles began.
An arcane sanctuary under the palace? I'd heard that there were some underground cellar levels that Jaren used as chambers for his treasure and such, but no arcane sanctuary.
A careful caravan gives wide berth to sleeping bandits. If Horizon is gone, let him remain so.
Ah, the legend of Horizon is an old one, especially around these parts. You wouldn't believe the feats and strange events that are attributed to him.
I very much doubt that Horizon still lives in his sanctuary. He possessed great power and influence over demons, but even that may not have been enough in the end. One of his notoriety cannot easily remove himself from the vengeful reach of hell.
Ah, the ancient mage Horizon. He believed that he could bend evil forces to his will. What he didn't know was that evil uses man, not the reverse. The Vigerai still revere him as a symbol of man's ability to triumph over otherworldly forces. The Church of Light, however, cites him as an example of man's folly.
Horizon found it necessary to lock himself up for all time, just to protect himself from those angry demons. Such is the fate of one who practices the summoning arts. That or eternal damnation. There's old summoners and bold summoners, but no old, bold summoners.
When the troubles began here, I allowed the terrified harem guilds to join me within the safety of the palace. All was fine until one night. Screams echoed up the stairwells from the harem. My guards arrived to find the poor girls being slaughtered by a merciless band of hell-spawned demons. My brave guardsmen tried to push the demons back into the mysterious rift from which they came. Ever since, my men have fought a losing battle. Demons have continued to pour through the rift into the palace. Ultimately, I hired Grays and his mercenaries to help protect the rest of my fair city. Drognin believes that the arcane sanctuary lies buried underneath this palace, since Lutgolain occupies the site of an ancient Vigerai fortress. My palace is open to you now. Take care.
This place actually distorts reality. Fascinating.
This surely is the product of a twisted mind. This is fantastic. I wish I had time to study this bizarre dimension.
This was not designed by nature's architect.
One could get lost in here.
The sanctuary. Horizon's obsession. Am I the first to find this arcane fortress?
I am certain that you will find the information you need when you find Horizon's journal. I suggest you find it quickly, for Diablo may be getting closer to freeing his brother as we speak.
So you've been in the palace, have you? Tell me, why does Jaren keep that place locked up so tight?
All my years of brawling, of pummeling both the unsuspecting and the deserving, have yielded two insights. You can either fight, or you can run. All other strategies are variations of these.
I've been thinking about the problems in Jaren's palace. Perhaps this has occurred to you as well. If those cellar passageways lead to the arcane sanctuary, then that is where the demons came from. Horizon's haven must have been breached.
Even a sanctuary such as Horizon's can be breached by the tentacles of evil. Such a haven could have become a chamber of unspeakable horrors. Be wary of what you may unleash.
Huh? The Horizon is always out of reach. You should know that. Oh, Horizon. Oh, I see. Yes, well, he was insane. Yeah, brilliant, yes, but total lunatic.
What's got you so occupied in the palace? Oh, don't tell me you're finding the harems more compelling than killing demons. That would be out of character for one such as yourself.
I understand that you've been talking to Jaren. Well, if so, then you're the first in a long while. Since the trouble began, actually. Do us a favor and try to find out what's got Jaren so edgy all the time. Okay?
There was an Eastern mage, a Vigerai, I believe, who visited me almost a year ago. He was very interested in the history of this site, and he seemed particularly fascinated with the palace architecture. I gave him a tour. When he found the ancient seals over a passageway in the cellar, he became very agitated. He asked for some time alone to study them, and I granted it. Shortly after, he left with no further word, and I never saw him again. Odd, don't you think?
Fate is like a caged gorilla. It will pelt you with dung if you mock it.
So, now that you're such a pal of Jaren, why don't you ask him if I can set sail one of these days? I'm running out of patience.
Is this truly Horizon?
Surely the evil here has driven you mad. This bumbling fool cannot be the mighty Horizon.
This place would drive anyone mad.
Stand aside, O fool. I have no time for your babblings.
Somehow, the dark magics have corrupted you. What a freak.
That couldn't have been Horizon. Poor wretch.
Rest in peace, tortured soul. He was not Horizon. He was a deluded fool who got too close to true power.
Finally, now I can leave this twisted nightmare.
Oh, I I hate staining my hands with the blood of foul sorcerers.
Horizon, your decoy is dead. Good riddance, freak.
Seekers of the tomb of Tal Rasha will find it through the portal. But know that the glowing glyphs recorded here in my arcane sanctuary are the signs of the 6 false tombs. The missing 7th sign marks the tomb of Tal Rasha. Of the Horadrim, he might be called the foremost. It was a shining but brief moment for the mage clans when they set aside their differences and worked together against the common enemy. The Horadrim relentlessly pursued the 3 across the desolate empires of the east and even into the uncharted lands of the west, leaving the Archangel Tyrael's hands unblemished. Presuming the 3 to be vanquished, the Horadrim's unstable fellowship began to dissipate. Abandoning their sacred charge to safeguard the 3 soul stones, the disparate mage clans began to squabble amongst each other over petty differences. Their conflicts not only dissolved their brotherhood, but strengthened the evils which they had buried beneath the cold earth. You have found Horizon's journal. Excellent. But I must caution you. The mark of the true tomb of Tal Rasha is sought, if not already known, by Diablo. I needn't elaborate on the implications of that.
Oh, those poor women. Will the slaughter never end? Thank you once again for protecting our city.
Unbelievable. The harem girls are dead? The palace guards have been fighting off demons from the cellar? How could that happen without my knowledge?
News of the tragedy in the palace is spreading fast. How awful. And to think, this whole time I thought Jaren and his guards were in there playing with the harem girls.
I thank you for your heroic aid. I'm also glad that you found something you were looking for. The journal should help you find the true tomb of Tal Rasha. Hopefully there is still time to get there before Diablo. Go now, and good luck.
Well, the news going around town is very unsettling. Apparently, we were in more danger than anyone thought. Good work, friend. You may have saved all our skins.
So, now we know Jaren's little secret. Well, I guess I can see why he wanted me to stay, though. I'm just glad it didn't come to that. Now he tells me to wait some more, in case you need to get out of here. Well, for you, I'll do it. Maybe they'll mention me in the epic ballads, eh?
Ha! I wish Jaren would have let me in the palace. I would have saved those girls and kicked demon ass back to the fire pits of hell.
You must move quickly now, friend, for Diablo is undoubtedly close to finding what he seeks. Find the tomb of Tal Rasha before he frees the Lord of Destruction.
Faith is stronger than any armor. The shield will protect the body, but faith will strengthen the courageous heart.
Horizon's urinal? Oh, journal. Yes, well, glad you found it. Such a shame about those poor harem girls, huh? I shall miss them deeply. I mean, their conversations, of course.
Is this truly Horizon?
Surely the evil here has driven you mad. This bumbling fool cannot be the mighty Horizon.
This place would drive anyone mad.
Stand aside, O fool. I have no time for your babblings.
Someone. The dark magics have corrupted you. What a freak.
Yes, the man you speak of sounds like the mage who came here many months ago. He claimed to have fought Diablo in the passages beneath Tristram. No doubt the fool wandered into Horizon's sanctuary, and lost whatever was left of his ravaged mind. He is beyond salvation. It is possible that the fool has been possessed by the spirit of Horizon. If that's true, then you'd better put an end to his tortured existence. Once done, I believe the demons who were summoned and imprisoned within the sanctuary will cease to exist as well.
So, Horizon's crazy, eh? I'd be surprised if he wasn't. All those centuries without ale would drive anyone to drink. But then you couldn't drink. And that would drive you to drink. Huh? What was the question?
You always seem to find the worst trouble. I don't know how you handle it.
That guy really talks like that? Sounds like either Horizon has gone stir-crazy or that's some imposter.
Ugh, crazy mages give me the creeps. Just kill them and get on with your business.
The man you describe is probably not Horizon. He sounds like the very mage who came around here a while ago. He was very curious about this palace, and seemed especially interested in the seal on the passageway in the cellar. He left shortly after that. I wonder how he got down there. The seal was never broken. That mage spoke a great deal to Drognin. Why don't you ask him about it?
There's nothing more dreadful than a powerful being driven by a frayed mind.
Oh, yes, I remember. There was a fellow around here many months ago who asked almost as many questions about Horizon as you. So, he discovered enough to assume Horizon's place in the Arcane Sanctuary, huh? What a fool.
That doesn't sound like Horizon. I'll agree that he may have gone mad, but from what you tell me, I don't think that's the case. Talk to Drognin. He may know more than I.
The appearance of the mage you describe sounds like one I met back in Tristram. Many Vigeri came to fight against Diablo, the Lord of Terror. Perhaps this is one of them. You know, fate seems to have frowned upon all of the heroes who confronted that terrible evil. Take care, or the same may happen to you.
Ah, yes. As a ship captain, I am well aware of the phenomenon of a false Horizon. Sorry, just a little joke.
That couldn't have been Horizon. Poor wretch.
Rest in peace, tortured soul.
He was not Horizon. He was a deluded fool who got too close to true power.
Finally, now I can leave this twisted nightmare.
Oh, I hate staining my hands with the blood of foul sorcerers.
Horizon, your decoy is dead.
Good riddance, freak.
The demonic force that was emanating from the corrupted sanctuary has dissipated. I thank you greatly for your help. Now we can look to rebuilding our lives. All will be for nothing, though, if you do not stop the greater evil which is rapidly gaining ground.
You're more the hero than I could have dreamed. Perhaps there is hope for us after all.
Larger forces are moving inexorably towards us. You must now make haste to the tombs.
So, Horizon's been dead for some time. I take it you at least found what you were looking for.
You make me long for the days of glory, when I had both hands, both eyes, and more of a foot.
I guess you'll be heading to the tombs now. I hear that they're in the deepest desert regions.
Well, you've got what you're after. Now get a move on before it's too late.
The way I see it, well, It's all pretty blurry.
I hope that this false summoner found peace in death. Unfortunately, it is more likely that he will be dragged down into hell by the demons he was bound to. Let this be a lesson to you. Demonic magic is a quick path, but its powers are seductive and deadly.
I feel no pity for that would-be summoner. His terrible ambition for demonic power was his undoing. You merely hastened the inevitable.
Such is always the fate of those who meddle with evil.